Hello everybody, QC Runner for QC Runner Games. I am back today with an episode of Hustle Castle. It is event preview time. The next event has been announced, so we're going to talk about everything that I have found out about the event and share the details here with you. Real quick, before we jump in there, I do want to give a quick shout out to all the sponsors and everybody who has been supporting the channel over the last month. And we have two different ways for people to support. I have Buy Me Coffee and YouTube memberships. So thank you to Loco and Flart for your support using Buy Me Coffee. Thank you for that. And then the ongoing monthly memberships as well. Thank you very much to Keith Guiles, Ashton and Amrish. I do very much appreciate your continued support. And if that's something you guys are interested, you can see the details down below on the ticker or in the description. Very easy to do and much appreciated. So thank you to everybody who has been supporting the channel. Okay, what do we have? What has been announced? I am going to go, and I'm going to turn this music off because it's way too loud in my ear. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but need to work on that volume. Yeah, so I know that the details have been leaked. I know that on my Discord server, which you can find a link to that below in the description as well. We are going to go over and cover everything that is there, but I haven't actually read it myself. I looked to see where it is, and that's about it. So we're going to kind of uncover that together. The one thing that has been announced is... let's go here real quick. I'm going to give you a quick shot at, the style of event we have here. This is an old screenshot from a previous event, but we have one of these style of events. We'll come up with a name here in a minute when we start reading the details. But it's one where you just basically play all aspects of the game. You get hammers, you get goggles, you get to see these spots here on the background on the screen. And then you open them up and you find the details down below and what's there, and you get a lot of good stuff. You get a lot of cash, you get a lot of resources for your heroes, all kinds of legendary epic gems. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. So this is definitely one of the fan favorite type of events. I know most of you have played it before, so I won't get into tons of details on that, but and as always, you get the option to buy a pass. You buy that pass, you can see this little token down here on the bottom or in the middle of the game board. There's usually a silver one and a gold one. The silver one gets you access to be able to use the goggles, which allow you to see behind the spaces on the board before you actually click on them. And then the gold one gives you that same access, plus it gives you added bonuses as well. And both of those tokens will also give you like free goggles every time you refresh that board. So every hammer that you smash on this board, you end up counting a counter, and once you hit 30, you get a chance to open a chest where you get the special event related, or chance to get the special event related items. So we will go through and read those details and see what type of events or what type of gear is going to be available. I was going to actually pull up a board and, a previous video and show some of the styles, but I think most people have played this style of event and know what it is, and I think most people are pretty excited about it. It's certainly a good one. So let me go collect on these guys here because, oh man, every time I do it, I don't know why I'm going to do that because the game's going to pause and time out. Somebody gave me a good suggestion once where I just have like a battle screen going in the background while I'm going over these preview videos. It's a fantastic idea. I will do that. I'll have to actually prepare for that, which I am not prepared for that at the moment. So let me go ahead and pull up Discord here. So I got a couple areas I'm going to go through. So I'm jumping right into the middle of what's displayed here on my Discord server. So let me make it a little bigger for me. So these are the details that'll come out. Usually we get that screen that shows up on the other side of the mail screen. So these are the details we should be getting there. So my lords and my ladies, the search for the underground treasure will begin very soon. Treasure hunt style event. That's what it's called. I forgot. There are many unique and varied rewards awaiting you. Expect Argonius to appear at the gates of your castle. A free reward awaits you at the gate. Oh, yes. So we got updates to the game as well. I actually noticed this morning. A free reward awaits you in the arena, Gem Cove, which I thought was Gem Bay. It's interesting. Okay. Dungeon stores, and most importantly, it is not disposable. Now, once in a while, you can pick up resources for free that can be spent in the activity store. So I saw that this morning. It looks like it refreshes every 12 hours. And at the top of each of those stores, we could actually just go take a look right now. Let me turn this off real quick. I'm sure most of you have seen this already. So let's go to Gem. Oh, I already have. See, it is Gem Bay. I don't know why it says Gem Cove. Recommendation, save a 15 out of 15 on Gem Cove or Gem Bay. That way you can collect those resources. I don't think the event's going live, so I don't need to save it, but I always try to save 15 out of 15 from the day before. But make sure you save your last one so then you can go ahead and collect it once the event starts. And it doesn't count towards the 2 or 3 or whatever free ones you get. So if we go up to the dungeon here, we can see... I didn't update this version. Well, that's a bummer. But here on the top of the screen, there'll be a little box up here that says collect, I think it was 750 ether or something like that. And there's a time, once you collect it, it's a timer that goes for 12 hours and then it goes away and then it comes back up again. Another thing here in the store here, it's also up top. I think it was pretty small. It was like 250 badges or something like that. And again, that's on a 12-hour timer. And then you get that as well in Gem Bay. So it's not significant, but it is still something free. You don't have to watch commercials. I mean, it's truly free compared to a lot of other things. So it's a nice little addition. I do appreciate that little change that they gave to us. All right, so for most of you in the game, this is not really relevant to me, but a star with a new property has been added to each hero constellation, and the maximum level of stars has been increased from 100 to 200. A lot of people have their heroes maxed out, so that will help you guys to get bigger and stronger, and will allow me to fall further and behind from everybody else in the game. The game now has the ability to change your nickname. To do this, you need to go up to your profile and click on the appropriate button next to the nickname. Be careful, only the first change is free, everything else costs diamonds. Again, I would show you that. I don't know if it's turned on. I looked on my phone earlier that has the update and it didn't show there, so I don't know if they're going to release that once the event actually goes live. If the update's actually turned on and everything goes live. And I'm actually running this on the PC version, and that auto updates all the time, so I don't know why they didn't give me the update, and there's not even a notification down below saying that there's an update available. So I guess the PC version is not updated yet, which is quite unfortunate, so I can't show you those details, but I'm sure most of you have seen them, because I'm sure it's out for Android already, and for I definitely know it's out for iOS because I got mine already. All right, let me get back to the right screen here. Alright, so the game, change your nickname. Now it's easier to switch between castles of other players. This one I'm not following a whole lot, so let's read through this again, see if I can make sense of it. When viewing an enemy castle, the next enemy and previous enemy buttons are displayed. Also, the next enemy button is available after the battle. The button for opening multiple chests has been raised. Okay, that's just, I guess when you're clicking buttons, you can actually click on the open 10 instead of open 1. So they raised it up so you don't accidentally click on it. But the next enemy and previous enemy is a little bit interesting, because if you're going on the screen, you do a PvP battle, whatever, and you click on next, I guess I'll just take, if there's another one in that same area, it'll take you to that one, or it'll just skip to the next one after that maybe, and maybe just go next, and you can see the ones that you want, so it makes it easier to choose. Not sure on that one, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, the goal seems like it's going to be a time saver of some sort, so I guess the idea is that will be helpful. This one looks interesting. The Chest and Gem Cove. There it is again. I guess we're going to change it to Gem Cove. The Chests and Gem Cove shop have been reworked. Now there are 2 of them instead of 3, and the contents have become many times better and richer. We noticed that for the other chests that they did that to, it was a significant difference, so I'm expecting this to be helpful. We know that the chests in Gem Bay store are useless, completely useless. The only thing worth buying really is epic gems, and then I guess epic what are they called? The sheets that allow you to increase your chance to 100%. So scrolls. So maybe they're going to make these chests actually worthwhile and give you a chance to get something good out of there. So that'll be interesting. So I've actually cashed in a bunch of my Kraken tokens. I was like way over 1 million now. I think I still have a bunch, but not nearly as much as before. Still got like 1 million. So once that goes live and the event goes live, we'll go ahead and test that out and see what kind of content show up in there. A new hammer has been added to the treasure hunt event. It becomes available with the purchase of the golden pass and breaks not 1 slot with a reward, but 3 at once. A hammer like this is issued every time you use the usual 10 hammers. So I guess this is something you're going to get for free every time you use 10 hammers. So, you know, you get through 500 regular hammers or so, you're going to get like 50 of those special golden hammers. So that could be interesting to see how that works out. A huge event in Hustle Castle is coming. Search the underground treasures with a huge variety of unique rewards. That's just the basic stuff. We already know that. So let's just quickly scroll up here past those details. And here is everything listed. Thank you, of course, to... I can't read that. That's not the person I thought saved this. I thanked everybody on my server for posting these details, and I did miss that. So thank you... I am Mr. Mahal, and then also to Dent Wessam, and then as well to Vip Diesel. I appreciate all you guys giving these details so we can share these on the videos. Everybody looks forward to finding out what the events are before they go live, so thank you for all of these details. All right, so once in a while, these are the details of all the gear that are going to be coming out. So obviously we don't have the brackets filled in; those get filled in when the game actually goes live. But these are the general ideas. I can't actually see everything on my screen. It looks like you guys probably can't either. So let's see if there's another scroll bar down here. That's unfortunate. Let me pause the video. I'll be right back and come up with a better way to see this. One moment. Okay, and I'm back. So I ended up taking that out and putting it into a text editor and throwing it up here on the screen. So these are the details, obviously a little bit small. If you want to see a better explanation, easier readable output of this, you can go ahead and join my Discord server and see everything that's posted here. So our new amulet that's going to be posted, I am going to show some screenshots in a little bit so we can see our images to see what these look like. But the new amulet, once in a while when the owner of the amulet is stunned, it explodes and deals damage to all enemies around. That sounds highly useful, so looking forward to trying that one out. We have a new ring, which enemy fighters take more damage for a certain amount of time if he has a stun or slowdown. That's, it's kind of like a chance thing. It's like a stun, or not a stun, a crit or a dodge where there's a chance of something happening rather than guaranteed. So not a huge fan of that one. We have Archer Armor, increases critical strike damage by a certain amount for all allies. That's nice. I actually still run an Archer, unlike most others, but that could be interesting. Okay, so I guess if that Archer Armor is ruined, I guess this is telling us here, increases critical hit damage by a certain amount and crit by a certain amount for all allies. Okay, that sounds useful. We have a new bow. Once in a while, the archer can start a series of crushing shots. The first shot deals more damage. The second shot with a percentage chance will do more damage than the usual attack of the fighter. All subsequent shots have a percentage chance of dealing damage from a normal attack. As soon as the streak is interrupted, the ability will begin to recharge. Okay, a series of crushing shots. Okay. That actually, I wonder if that will be a new meta type bow. It's interesting. It seems like it could be highly useful. I don't know if we've gotten a meta bow from this event before, but looking forward to trying that out. Mage Armor. Once in a while upon death, all allied warriors apply shields to themselves and all allied mages will absorb damage. Okay. You have to have somebody die for that to happen, but it's useful, but they have to die. Okay, so with the rune, once in a while upon death, all allied warriors apply a shield to all allied mages, which absorbs damage. When a shield is destroyed, opponents take damage in a small radius. Yeah, not very exciting. A Scepter. Every something damage dealt by a fighter gives his charge, which increases his magic power by a certain amount and magic damage. Maximum charges, maximum durations. Hard to read all this because we're missing all the numbers obviously there, so we'll have to see on that one. And with the rune, it does a bunch more, so I'm just going to skip that one since that's hard to read anyway. Tank Armor. Once in a while, when a fighter's health drops to a critical level, he heals himself. He also restores himself a certain amount and health for a certain amount of seconds. In this case, the fighter becomes immune to negative effects. That seems highly useful. I think I might have to use that one on a couple different fighters, so that'll be interesting to try that one out. Alright, do we have a rune on that one? We do. Once in a while, when a fighter's health drops to a critical level, he restores health and he and somebody nearby, or a certain amount nearby, also restore health to themselves for a certain amount of time. In this case, the fighter becomes immune to negative effects. Yes, I definitely think I'm going to be using that one. New axe. Every once in a while, a fighter turns a certain amount of enemies in a small area to stone. They cannot move. They take more damage, and their ability cooldowns are frozen. Wow. Okay, well that, I guess that's kind of like a stun, but that seems highly useful. Let's go to the next screen here. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing. There we go. So we don't have a rune mentioned on that one. So we have a shotgun without a rune. We got all kinds of details here. A shotgun with no rune, when dealing damage, summons an indestructible turret. These are like all shotguns, okay. That has DPS. Each damage dealt by the turret increases the turret damage and stacks a certain amount of times. Turret dies if they die. Turret every archer shot ignores the percentage. This is too much to read. I don't use shotguns, so this doesn't read a whole lot different to me than any of the other ones. Also, attack of the turret and its owner can stun for a certain amount of time, so that's slightly different, and they're going to favor warriors. So yeah, and then if it's ruined, it looks like we have stacking and stuff like that going on. So again, I'm not running those. I know other people do, but it's not highly popular. So yeah, it is what it is. Maybe that's useful. You guys can tell me in the comments. All right, so we have a new artifact, triggered once in a while, as always. Launches a boulder that applies an effect to units. Effects last for a certain amount of time and depend on media class. If it's a warrior, all enemies hit by the boulder take damage over time, and all incoming damage to them is increased. All incoming damage to allies hit by the boulder is reduced. Okay, so your allies can hit too. That's interesting. Yeah, that could be useful. A mage, all enemies hit by the boulder take damage, and all incoming damage to them is increased. All incoming damage to hit by the allies hit by the boulder is reduced. That's the exact same thing. That's silly. And for archer, all enemies hit by the boulder take damage, and all incoming damage to them is increased. All incoming, that's silly. They're all the exact same thing. I'm assuming those numbers are different. And I guess the text they didn't tell us before, launches a boulder that applies effects to units. Effects last for a certain amount of time depending on the media class. I'm guessing the bottom part here is the runed effect, so let's read this. All enemies hit by the boulder take damage, and all incoming damage to them is increased. All incoming damage to allies hit by the boulder is reduced. Okay, yeah, that's just the same thing. So it's, I guess, going to be better numbers on there. Looks like we got stuns down here on the archer. All incoming damage to allies hit by the boulder is reduced. Enemies hit are also stunned for a certain amount of time, and allies are healed. So if you have it ruined, it looks like we're going to have, you know, whatever the effects are to all the fighters, plus enemies are going to be stunned and allies are going to be healed. Okay, I don't know. It seems like it could be useful, but it's hard to read with all those numbers missing, obviously. So anyway, so it's reading pretty good. Now let's go back to turn this off. Just leave that off. That's fine. We'll go back to Discord here. I'm going to have to log back in. All right, that's unfortunate. Give me one moment. Had it off for too long, I guess. We'll go back to QC Runner, my top server, that is, events. So this is where this is. So I had, everything I was reading right here is by I, Mr. Mihol. That's where all those details were. We couldn't read those across the screen. Now I see the scroll bar here, but that wasn't showing when I expanded it. And here's what we're looking at for the items. So there's an artifact right there up top. Looks kind of cool looking for sure. And then our tank armor is definitely looking really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Both that armor and that weapon could be added to my setup because those are pretty sweet looking and seem like they could be useful. All right, mage robes and scepter. The archer, we'll see again. Archer armor and bow, nice looking. Ring and amulet. Leaderboard skins, something I never get. I'm never on the leaderboard, so. Or willing to spend the amount I need to. Ooh, a new mount. Looks like a ice dragon of some sort. Interesting. I never get those, so I won't plan on getting that. New resource equipment. Something to point out about those resource items. The way this event works, you know, I've mentioned it before, so it'll be the same thing I've said before, but each resource type is going to have two possibilities for you to get, and they're, you know, each legendary, and they're going to give you a range. I'm just going to make up a number here between like 100 and 200. So your uranium miners can get, you know, between 100 and 200 production. Whatever shows up on your board, if you're using the goggles to click on one, and it shows you what's going to be coming before you collect it. If it happens to be on the lower end of that range, like in the 100s, you don't need to collect it. You can just ignore it, and it'll pop up again on a future board, and it might have, you know, a higher end of the range, like 200 or something like that. So if you're trying to maximize everything, you're going to want to make sure you get uniforms that are near the max end of what they're possible. Me personally, I don't usually have time, so I just take everything. And with all the events coming up, it's, you know, some are better than others. So I just take whatever comes in. But if you want to maximize everything, you definitely want to make sure that the values that they produce are where they're going to help you out the most. So those are new gear, pretty cool looking. And then let me go ahead and open these up down here because I did not read these, but this is going to be everything put into a little easier to read screen here, I think. So let me make that a little bigger for me. I don't know if that's bigger for you or not. It looks like about the same thing. So that again is our artifact and what it's going to be helping. So again, it's the same thing we had before, but much easier to read. And plus we got the image with it. So thank you for sharing these details and making a nice little image there. That is much easier to get through. Launches a boulder, so like we said, all all the same details before, and now we got the clarification here with the rune. We'll add the enemy's hit will be stunned and allies hit will be healed. So that seems like it combines a few different artifacts we've had in the past, but I'm definitely going to be testing that one out. So here's our amulet and our ring, what they look like together with the text. Be a little bit easier to read through, so you can go ahead and pause the video here if you want to get a better view here. So let me read these again. So we got here's our axe. So they cannot move and they take more damage. Very nice. The problem is my tank is attacking up front, so I'm only going to be slowing down the probably the least of the damage dealing on the other side. So that might not be quite as useful. But here with the rune, once in some time, when a soldier's health drops to a critical level, he restores his health a certain amount. He and nearby allies also restore health to themselves over time. And in this case, the fighter becomes immune to negative effects. So that seems like it's going to be highly useful. So definitely looking forward to that one. Here's our mage setup again with the scepter. With rune and without rune for both the scepter and the armor. Here's our archer setup again. This is a little bit hard to read. Start a series of crushing shots. The first shot deals damage. Okay. So we don't have details of what the bow is going to do with the rune. That's fine. Archer, we talked about extra item shotgun. So here's all the details of the shotgun. The stone thrower. Seems like it should be pretty cool. So obviously lots of good gear. This style of event, like I said before, it's really good. There's a lot of good stuff. And there's a lot of play. I mean, to get the most play out of this event, you have to buy the pass, because when you buy the pass, you get more premium items on the board. Instead of one, you're going to get 2 or 3, depending which pass you buy. That token I was talking about. Plus, every time you refresh your board, because on each board, you're looking for a premium item, like I don't remember what it is, whatever it is for that specific event. In Zero City, it's always a bulldozer. So you find that bulldozer, you can refresh your screen, and then you get a fresh board to start looking for things again. So every time you refresh that board, when you buy the basic token, you get 2 sets of goggles. When you buy the premium token, you get 3 pairs of goggles. So, and those goggles allow you to see in the board to see what you should and shouldn't click on. So, and just by playing all aspects of the game, you get lots of things. And people always ask, where do you get the most from? Me personally, Djembe is where I get the most from, and sharing resources with buddies, with friends up here. So, not that one. This guy up here. Doing this is how I get a lot as well. And then all other aspects as well, you get some as well. But lots and lots and lots, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. If you guys are asking how come I don't send you gifts, it's because I think it stops at like 200. It used to anyway. I haven't looked at this recently, but it'll be interesting to see how far this goes. Ooh, 229 it stops. There used to be way more, so I guess I don't know if people have dropped off because they're not playing anymore or what, but there used to be way more than that. But it's interesting to see that they're all numbered now. So anyway, so if you're sending me resources, I'm not sending you back. It's because there's a lot of people on my list, and a lot of people send me stuff. So, and I can only receive the first 10 that people send to me. So if you sent me something, if I get 50 people, I'm only going to see the first 10 that send them to me. So that is probably why you're not getting things back from me, but I do appreciate it anyway. Yeah, that'll do it. So that's the new treasure hunt event coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be similar probably to everything else, except for the new golden hammer that's going to be coming, but definitely looking forward to it. Again, my expectation would be Thursday, because that's fairly common, and they usually announce it on Facebook and Hustle Prime, and which comes to my server, so it'll be announced. Lately, they've been announcing it 24 hours before the events go live, so I'm expecting that announcement to come out tomorrow and the event to go live on Thursday, but I could be wrong. It might be pushed to next week, so no details have been specified on that yet. But anyway, the big old soon is when it's going to be. So until that happens, I will be waiting, and I will be posting a video when that does happen and we go live with it, and we'll talk about the event and check out how much what we expected to happen is actually happening. So until then, this has been QC Runner for QC Runner Games, and I will talk to you later. See ya.